Okay, back again in Animoji Gaming, so I'm gonna try to play total overdose recording that I eventually because I prefer to play the for-speed for-state instead, since music and games support the gamepad actively, so that's the reason why I don't really like it to play it with the keyboard, which is really weird for a third-person game unless you're playing first-person game like the Point Blank or even Far Cry perhaps, I'm not sure. So basically what I'm trying to do is using the X360 CE, but I think it is still not supported, so I decided to use the Joy2Key, which is basically a mapper for a gamepad or joystick to keyboard mapping, so which is pretty good, I guess. Especially it is kind of better than the native converter from the Dream Gadget itself. So basically the Dream Gadget already applied the native mapping to map the gamepad, the internal gamepad joystick into the keyboard and mouse mapping. But for some reason when I tried testing in the online there's still a side, so that's the reason why I really like it. So it is just unplayable, especially in a competitive game. So that's the reason why I'm still kind of prefer to use the keyboard instead directly without using mapping or some sort of third party that basically convert those inputs. So yeah, and for the Joy2Key it seems to be pretty good, even though the gamepad that I'm just currently using is the wired Logitech F310. So it was basically a good gamepad, but for some reason I didn't expect it. Already got the drift in the left. Well, so it's just annoying because I never realized it, because previously I'm just only use it for racing games such as the for Speed Heat, which basically didn't need the forward movement of the left arm, so it doesn't really need this from there, even though I used to use it for the Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, but I'm not sure why it is not seems to be drift during that time. So I was buying this joystick or gamepad from my college friend quite a while ago, almost 2 years ago. So basically I haven't been using the gamepad for a while since, obviously
Job
because
done,
I don't
pal.
actually play
Incredibly
games
destructive, but
until I finally
get the Papa Morty files out
again,
unseen.
or even
Unseen,
previously
me?
just playing a console
Try
from
and
the
be
Nintendo
restrained.
Switch or the
Just this
PlayStation
one.
4,
There's a telegraph line from the top of the pyramid to the jungle
same
landing strip.
game, which is the
They'll be
Test
waiting
Drive
for you there.
Unlimited Platinum using the steering wheel, so that's all. So I don't really play many games using the joystick or gamepad, so I prefer to do it using the steering wheel instead. So because I've already collected several steering wheels as well, so that's the reason why. So it's really because we never really go into this place again. So because it's just a prologue from the Total Overdose, which is the father of the main characters. So the main characters is actually the twin twin son, the other twin son. So one of them were kind of outlaw, and one of them already a agent. And just for some reason, it just oops, almost died because of granite in the gas station, which we will see after this. So it's pretty weird if you talk about the storyline. And the fathers just got betrayed and thrown from the planes for some reason. So even though this was actually in hard difficulty, but for some reason it is still pretty easy. Because yeah, was an old game, so if you talk about the animation or the AI in the game is very outdated. So yeah, I decided to skip because I didn't notice the reason why the space will always not working when there's a tutorial pop up. So I eventually realized
Cruz
it is
here.
actually because
Everything
of
is
the
A-OK
analog
on my
drift.
first job as a
So
gangbanger.
I need to
Good.
kind of
Now open the
pull
door
the
and get
analog
ready to jump
so
ship
that
before you hit the
they
tanker.
in the neutral position in order to press to skip the tutorial. So it's pretty annoying. And for this first attempt, I'm actually die because I haven't used the trainer yet, which can make me have an infinite health, which is pretty good, especially when I try to play this in hard difficulty. So the aiming in this game is pretty bad because there kind of has an auto aiming, but at some point it just not locked into the target, so it really wastes so many bullets, which is eventually make us die for some reason because we cannot hit the target. So yeah, it is pretty annoying when we are dying. We are actually need to restart from the beginning of the mission, so there's no checkpoint or some sort of that. So they're calling the mission as a good son because the bad son is actually the main character that we will be playing. It's pretty weird. That's the reason why they're not actually look alike for some reason. So as you can see, the health is now didn't decrease at all, which is pretty good. And because of the damn grenade, just making him.
This was a once-in-a-lifetime lead. Agents Pearson, Andreasen, Johnson, and Colding had all put a lot of work into this. I couldn't help feeling I'd let everyone down.
So run it past me again. Who got the bright idea to send in your idiot twin brother?
I can't remember exactly who came up with it, but feeling guilty and all, I went along with the whole crazy idea. To let my idiotic brother out of jail in exchange for him taking my place as an undercover agent.
So it's currently in jail, but can get out
Yes.
as long as he do the job as the key agent in exchange for his
No, let's
brother.
not.
Let's get the brotherly love pool. Just shut up
I'm
and tell
just
me what
not
to do.
get it.
Okay,
why the
let's just
sound
get
is
this
very
over and
small,
done with.
even though I
Your first
already
task is to get some hardware. I've made arrangements with Mr. Mendez from the Mexican secret police. He owes me. You'll find him and his buddies in a downtown joint called
there's
the
some sort
Greaseburger.
of unsupported things between the HDMI video capture and the Windows laptop? Sure, because it is always have so many delays in terms of video, even though I actually duplicate the screen. So maybe because it was duplicate screen, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I try to play using the main display into the monitor only, into the HDMI video capture only, it was still, there's some input lag, which is pretty annoying, especially when you're trying to play competitive such as Point Blank. So that's the reason why I keep dying for some reason. So yeah, it's kind of open world games that have kind of the Grand Theft Auto 3 quality, perhaps. I'm not sure, because the animation is not much, and I think you cannot change the clothing of your main character either. So yeah, it's still pretty basic. That's the reason why the size of this game is just less than a 2 gigabyte, even though it's still basically way much bigger than the Grand Theft Auto 3, unless the Grand Theft Auto 3 Definitive Edition, which is a little bit bigger, but the original Grand Theft Auto 3 is just 600 megabyte, if I'm not mistaken. But size doesn't always equals to the many gameplay inside the game. So at some point, if you talk about portable games, such as the PlayStation portable games, most of them has a very small size, but the development of the game is already quite modern. So that's the reason why they still can put a little bit modern things, even though they still have so many limitations, of course, when they try to port PlayStation 3 games into the PlayStation Portable. So that's the reason why they cannot even port every PlayStation 2 games into the PlayStation Portable, since not all of the PlayStation 2 games have a small enough size to be ported completely into the portable console. So yeah, that's the reason why the Total Overdose never make it to the portable. Besides, yeah, I think the development of the game house of this game is also no longer available, sadly. Eidos Interactive has already created so many games, I guess, especially for the real-time strategy games. I quite forgot. So it is pretty nice when the analog is really drifting me out. So it's just making me more harder to shoot, because it just cannot be steady. Actually, if you talk about the animation of the character, it's not really bad, especially when you're trying to see the move after this, which is basically kind of like a sleeping dogs for some reasons. Even modern game doesn't always have this kind of animation, which is pretty sad. That's the reason why modern game doesn't guarantee all of the feature in the old games can be implemented, because yeah, they're just trying to make the games release fast as much as possible with the low cost, obviously. But it's already make players satisfied.
Huracan! Ah!
It's one of my favorite moves, which is the tornado move, because it's basically killing everyone on near of yours, which is pretty cool. You basically don't need to carry those welding weapons. This move is pretty weird, to be honest, because light can kill people while we are kind of transformed into bull. Maybe it's like a rage in the Scarface, but in a more weird ways. So yeah, in this game, it is possible to use a welding weapon that's kind of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where you already reach the maximum weapon skill for the light weapons. And El Mariachi is pretty good as well, because you're basically using the Gatling gun, but for some reason it is not a real Gatling gun, because it's basically a guitar case, hard case that can shoot bullets, and it's just for just for funny purposes. So yeah, this is where I can actually learn about many moves that we can actually do, like the slow motion shooting, which is, I don't know whether it is possible or not. The Sleeping Dogs, I think it's kind of that in all games, but I'm not sure. It's that thing like a Dead to Right, not normal. It's just basically a third-person shooting games. So, and water move is pretty cool, because at some point, even though it's basically not really possible to do it in the real life, so the targeting for the headshot, for some reason, it is pretty hard to lock. So basically, this video is all about the training, because it's pretty wasting my time. So I don't want to record so many things, because I tried to put the remaining into the Twitch stream, perhaps. Because I basically can stream while on the go as well. So I've never really tried it yet, but yeah, hopefully it can be as smooth as when using a broadband internet on my home, because yeah, if it's all about the broadband internet on my home, it's still basically slow in terms of the upload speed, so it's pretty annoying. That's the reason why when I try to use the mobile network, it's kind of faster, way much faster, especially to upload the video into YouTube. But I still don't want to do it, because it will basically reduce my quota, I guess, because upload and download is kind of in the same quota or not, I'm not sure. Besides, it seems like my broadband internet is like not used at all, so it's pretty annoying as well. So that's the reason why I don't to use the mobile network when I'm at home, unless I'm basically really on the mobile. Basically, it was a 27 minutes video. It's not that long because, yeah, I don't want to make it too long either because there's so many things that basically already skip when I just started to play this game, but it's okay, I guess. It's not really much either because all of the problem mission is just basically not a games yet like this where you can see the map. I guess I don't know whether many things that basically can be done in this open world game because it's always been a while that I didn't play this game. But basically this is much better than even modern open world games such as Just Cause for some reason. Because I don't really like the Just Cause because there seems no improvements since the first ever Just Cause in terms of the open world functionality. So that's the reason why I'm pretty lazy to play it. I prefer to play old nostalgic game instead. Which is pretty much good because there's still so many open world games that I have been installed, such as the True Crime in New York City, or the Mercenaries, or the Final Fight Streetwise, which is basically all of them were PlayStation 2 games, but I'm not sure about the Final Fight Streetwise is also available on the PC or not, because if I'm not mistaken, there are several games that basically don't available in the PC, like the Tokyo Drift game, obviously so it's just exclusively in the console. Didn't see what those guys. I don't. There's no guy at all at those City Rage. But so this is pretty hard using the granite because I just keep moving forward. And it's very hard to go into the hole. Even though there's only 3 minutes remaining until I finally complete missions. The training mission, it's kind of the same like the first training mission in True Crime New York City for some reason, because it is also converted from the outlaw into cop. So DA is like a cop as well, because yeah, it's just for specific drugs. So there used to be another thing, but that's not included in this training, such as the use of Gatling guns. Like in the Just Cause, I guess it is also have to be Gatling guns. So I don't actually try to do the training in a sequence because I didn't know that numbers actually represent the sequence, and there's always numbers. So the close combat is pretty dumb because they're just using the same exact animation all the time, which is pretty weird. And it's basically can be finished with just a very short. Rather than using the target instead. So you can basically do this all the time, I guess, even though you already complete everything. But I'm not sure how many things that we can actually do over again on these old games, because yeah, there should be so many things, but the world seems to be empty for some reason. So there's a cool car stunts, explore the roof. Well, it's pretty basic, but it's still pretty enjoyable. So yeah, that's the end of this video.